Hey everyone, so today I have a tutorial slash review on some of the products in the Urban Decay Naked Cherry range. I was really fortunate in that I was sent my Naked Cherry items in PR, but that doesn't sway the review any which way. I'm here to give you my honest thoughts, as always, on the collection, if it's worth the buy or not. So now let's get started. As always, I'm beginning by priming the eye area, and to do that I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm just sweeping this anywhere that I'll be applying shadow. And this just helps the shadows to go on more smoothly, to appear as vibrantly as possible, and to last all day. So the Naked Cherry palette includes 12 new shades in a range of finishes from mattes to metallics, and it retails at €49. Urban Decay for me can be hit and miss with their eyeshadows, but I've never really had an issue with the Naked range. So the first shade I'm taking is called Feelz, and this is a warm matte pinky peach shade, and to apply that I'm using the double-ended brush that comes with the palette. It's probably the best brush they've produced for a palette. You have a blending brush on one end and a short, dense brush on the other end that's in a bullet shape. And I'm just blending back and forth, adding this colour into the crease, and it's going to act as my transition shade. It's pigmented and easy to blend, as you can see, and as always I like to build my shadows up, so I'm applying this a couple of times until I achieve the intensity that I want. When I've little to no product left on my brush, I'm sweeping it up higher, little by little, towards the brow bone to fade out that edge, and I didn't have any fallout with this particular shade. Flipping that brush around now and picking up some more of that shade, I'm using this end of the brush to pack and blend shadow down along the lower lash line, and because this brush is quite dense, it does a great job of packing on colour, and it does a decent job at blending too, but if you really want to buff out those edges, flip the brush back around and use the fluffy side. Next, I'm taking the shade Devilsh, which is a matte ready plum shade. Now this colour was a little powdery in the pan, not a big deal for me, just something to note. And I'm using that same brush that came with the palette again, and I'm adding this colour into the crease. This brush is really soft and makes blending very easy to do, and the shadows build and blend with ease. I didn't have an issue with them just fading into one another and becoming muddy. When I was finished, I noticed that there was a little bit of fallout on the skin, nothing major, nothing that couldn't be sorted with the sweep of a brush. So next then I'm taking the Shadow Privacy, which is a deep matte reddish brown, and I'm using a smaller fluffy blending brush to add this shadow in the crease. As I moved from colour to colour, I added a little deeper in the crease, not blending out as much as the previous shades, so that they can still be seen and that I have a nice gradient effect. The shadow blended very well too, and I had a small amount of fallout, which I just dusted away like the last time. Sometimes when I do this, shadows can smear into the skin and ruin the foundation, but these don't. Not sure why, it's probably to do with the fact that perhaps there's such little fallout. I'm using a small angled brush now to add that privacy shade down along the lower lash line, and I'm pressing the shadow into the lashes. Then I'm fading out the edges with that small dense brush. I decided I wanted to go back in with Devilsh just to intensify it slightly because I wanted that plum to pop, and once I've no product on my brush, I'm dusting around the edges of the look to make sure there's no harsh lines. Next, I'm using a flat C-shaped brush to apply Young Love to the inner half of my eyelid. This is a metallic and it's such a gorgeous colour. It's what I have in the centre of my lips actually. It's a warm pinky plum with a sort of copper undertone, and I'd played with the metallics prior to the tutorial, so I knew there was a good bit of fallout with them, so I picked some of the shadow up with my brush, sprayed it with all liner setting spray, and then applied it. So I'm adding Drunk Dial to the remaining half of the lid in the same manner, and out of all the metallics in the palette, I got on the best with this one. There are two 24/7 Glide on eye pencils in the range. I have one, and these pencils are $19.50. Love Drug is a deep plum liner with metallic finish. It applies smoothly to the waterline, doesn't tug, and lasts very well. You don't really see the metallic when it's inside the eye, and it's not too dissimilar to Alkaline, which is part of the Naked Heat collection. Alkaline is more of a wine liner and is matte, but when they're on the waterline, there's not too much of a difference. Now I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil in 0, and I just worked some of the liner into an angled brush, and I'm pressing it into the upper lash line, mainly on the outer corner, and I'm applying the liner in this way just because I can be a bit more precise with my application. Then I'm adding some lashes, and I didn't want to add liner along the upper lash line or dramatic lashes because I wanted you to be able to clearly see the shadows, so I'm just using these ones from the Kiss Blowout range. They're not too dramatic but still pack a punch. Onto the face, I have the highlight and blush palette, and just to add, the packaging is fantastic. I love how the cherry theme runs throughout the range. So with this palette, you have two highlighters and a blush, and the set will set you back $31.50. The first highlighter is a warm pinky champagne highlighter, then you have a deep matte pink plum blush, and a pale cool toned highlighter that has a pinky purple reflect running throughout. I'm just adding a light layer of the blush now, and I've already got a lot of plum going on, so I didn't want to overdo it, but I still wanted to add a nice flush to the cheeks. Again, like the eyeshadows, the blush is very buildable, there was no kickback in the palette, and I could blend it very easily. I've quite a bit of texture on my skin at the minute. I had a reaction recently and my skin is a bit bumpy. You can't really tell because I'm far away, but I'm going in with a light hand with the champagne highlighter because I don't want to draw emphasis on that texture. This is nice and luminous and would suit all skin tones, whereas the other highlighter, not so much. I'd personally wear it when I'm pale, or I'd use it as a topper or an inner corner highlight. Now I'm going to set everything in place with the All Nighter setting spray. It's a travel size and it's €12. I wouldn't be without this setting spray, I wear it daily, and I was really excited that it was being launched as part of this collection with a cherry scent. Then I was like, calm down Eimear, you've sensitive skin. It's probably not going to be a match made in heaven, but I've suffered no irritation as a result of it, and it does the job. Highly recommend if you haven't checked it out already. There are 3 lipsticks then as part of the range. They're $19.50 each and I have one. The lipstick I have is in the shade Devilsh and it's a berry pink with a metallic finish. I have something similar to this from the Vice lipstick range and I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that one, nor am I of this lipstick, so I didn't opt for it. There's a deep wine shade that I'll definitely pick up from the collection. Just this one personally isn't my cup of tea, so I went with another wine lippy that I had in my collection. But then that's it, so I hope you found this helpful, and if you'd like more Naked Cherry tutorials, just let me know.